Have you ever wondered what secrets lie buried beneath the sun-drenched soil of Crimea? This isn't just a story of modern headlines. It's a saga that stretches back millennia, a tapestry woven with threads of ancient empires, nomadic warriors, and resilient peoples. From the misty shores of the Black Sea to the rugged peaks of its mountains, Crimea has been a crossroads of civilizations, a prize sought by many, and a home cherished by its inhabitants. Today, we're embarking on a journey through time to uncover the rich, complex, and often surprising history of this remarkable peninsula. We'll peel back the layers of conquest and culture to understand the very soul of Crimea, a story that is as epic as it is deeply human. So, grab your explorer's hat, because we're about to dig into a past that continues to shape our present in ways you might never have imagined. Thousands of years ago, a fascinating story began to unfold on these shores. Imagine majestic Greek temples rising against the azure sky, their marble columns gleaming in the Mediterranean sun. Cities like Chersonesus and Pantikapaeum were bustling centers of trade, philosophy, and art. The Greeks, with their advanced civilization, brought order and architecture, establishing colonies that became beacons of culture in the ancient world. But they weren't alone. Sweeping in from the vast eastern steppes were the Scythians, formidable nomadic horsemen, renowned for their archery and intricate goldwork. These two vastly different cultures didn't just clash. They coexisted, traded, and influenced one another, creating a unique cultural fusion. The Greeks learned tactics of survival and adaptation from the Scythians, while the Scythians were drawn to the sophisticated lifestyle and goods of the Greeks. This dynamic interplay between settled civilization and nomadic power shaped Crimea's very identity, forging a legacy of strategic thinking and cultural blending. Their secrets teach us about resilience and diplomacy, lessons that are still incredibly relevant for us today. As the classical world waned, a new power emerged from the east, the Byzantine Empire, the inheritor of Rome's legacy. They saw Crimea not just as a distant outpost, but as a crucial strategic asset key that could lock or unlock the Black Sea. The Byzantines fortified ancient cities, built magnificent churches, and spread Orthodox Christianity, leaving an indelible spiritual and architectural mark on the peninsula. At the same time, the vast trade routes of the Silk Road began to weave their way toward Crimea, bringing with them the Genoese traders from Italy. These master merchants established powerful trading posts like Kaffa, modern-day Fid. Imagine bustling harbors filled with ships from across the known world, their docks piled high with silks from China, spices from India, and furs from the north. The Genoese forts, with their imposing stone walls and towers, still stand today as silent testaments to an era of incredible wealth and global commerce. Crimea became a vibrant melting pot where East met West, a place where fortunes were made and empires vied for control, setting the stage for the next dramatic chapter in its history. The winds of change blew fiercely across the steppes in the 13th century, carrying with them the Golden Horde, the western part of the vast Mongol Empire. Their arrival reshaped the political landscape of Eastern Europe, and Crimea was no exception. Under their rule, the peninsula saw the rise of the Crimean Khanate, a powerful state led by the descendants of Genghis Khan. For over 3 centuries, the Khanate was a major force in the region. Its capital, Bakhchazuri, became a stunning center of Islamic culture and art. The Khan's palace, with its intricate tilework, elegant fountains, and serene courtyards, is a breathtaking example of Crimean Tatar architecture and a window into the soul of this era. The Khanate controlled vital trade routes, engaged in complex diplomacy with neighboring powers like Poland, Lithuania, and the burgeoning Muscovy, and its formidable cavalry was both feared and respected. This period wasn't just about power and politics. It was about the flourishing of a unique Crimean Tatar identity, a rich cultural heritage that blended Turkic, Islamic, and local traditions into a vibrant and enduring legacy that continues to define the heart of the peninsula. As the Crimean Khanate's power began to fade, another empire was on the rise, casting its ambitious gaze southward. The Russian Empire. Under Catherine the Great, Russia was expanding, seeking warm water ports to project its naval power. In 1783, Crimea was annexed, a pivotal moment that dramatically altered its destiny. The peninsula was transformed into a strategic naval base for the Russian Black Sea Fleet. Cities like Sevastopol were founded, becoming fortress ports of immense military importance. This move also sparked the Crimean War in the mid-19th century, a brutal conflict that pitted Russia against an alliance of the Ottoman Empire, Britain, France, and Sardinia. The war, famous for the charge of the Light Brigade and the pioneering nursing work of Florence Nightingale, highlighted Crimea's critical strategic value on the world stage. For the Russian Empire, Crimea became more than just a military outpost. It was a jewel in the imperial crown, a sunny resort for the aristocracy, and a powerful symbol of Russia's southern ambitions, setting in motion a new chapter of development and demographic change. The 20th century brought unprecedented turmoil and transformation to Crimea, mirroring the dramatic upheavals that shook the world. After the Russian Revolution, the peninsula became part of the Soviet Union. It was a time of immense suffering and radical change. The beautiful landscapes that once hosted czars and poets became battlegrounds during World War II. The heroic defense of Sevastopol against Nazi Germany is a legendary tale of courage and sacrifice, a cornerstone of Soviet wartime identity. But this era also holds a deep and painful tragedy. In 1944, under Stalin's orders, the entire Crimean Tatar population was forcibly deported from their ancestral homeland. Accused of collaboration, hundreds of thousands were packed into cattle cars and exiled to Central Asia, a traumatic event that left a profound scar on the peninsula's history and the collective memory of the Crimean Tatar people. Then in 1954, in a move that would have unforeseen consequences, decades later, Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev transferred Crimea from the Russian Soviet Republic to the Ukrainian Soviet Republic, a decision made to celebrate the 300th anniversary of the treaty that brought Ukraine under Russian influence. With the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, Crimea found itself in a new reality. As part of a newly independent Ukraine, its status became a subject of complex political negotiation. The peninsula was granted a degree of autonomy, reflecting its unique history. A mixed population of Russians, Ukrainians, and the returning Crimean Tatars, who began their long, arduous journey back to their homeland. For over 2 decades, Crimea existed in this delicate balance. A popular tourist destination known for its stunning coastline and rich history, but also a region with underlying political and cultural tensions. The presence of Russia's Black Sea Fleet in Sevastopol, under a leasing agreement with Ukraine, added another layer of complexity. This period was a tightrope walk of diplomacy and identity, a time when the competing historical narratives and loyalties of its people simmered just beneath the surface. A prelude to the seismic events that would soon thrust Crimea onto the center of the world stage once more. The year 2014 marked the most dramatic turning point in Crimea's recent history. Following a revolution in Ukraine that ousted its pro-Russian president, unmarked troops, widely identified as Russian soldiers, took control of strategic locations across the peninsula. In a rapidly unfolding series of events, a controversial referendum was held, and Russia formally annexed Crimea. This move was met with international condemnation and sanctions. While being celebrated by many within Russia and among a significant portion of Crimea's population, the annexation redrew the map of Eastern Europe and ignited a conflict that continues to this day. For the people of Crimea, life changed overnight. The event profoundly impacted the peninsula's economy, its connection to Ukraine, and the delicate social fabric, particularly for the Ukrainian and Crimean Tatar communities who faced new pressures. Crimea once again became a focal point of geopolitical struggle, a symbol of a new era of confrontation between Russia and the West. Its story, as we've seen, has always been one of being at the crossroads, and today, that is truer than ever. So, what does this epic journey through time teach us? The history of Crimea is not just a sequence of dates and rulers. It's a powerful lesson in resilience. It shows us how cultures can meet, clash, and merge, creating something entirely new. It's a story of strategic importance, where geography has consistently dictated destiny. From the ancient Greeks and Scythians to the Genoese traders, the Crimean Khans, and the Russian and Soviet empires. Each era has left its mark, contributing to the peninsula's incredibly rich and layered identity. Understanding this past is crucial to understanding the present. It's not about taking sides, but about appreciating the complex tapestry of human experience that has unfolded on this small but significant piece of land. The story of Crimea is a reminder that history is alive. It breathes in the ancient ruins, echoes in the diverse languages spoken, and continues to shape the lives of people today. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey through the history of Crimea. We've only scratched the surface, but I hope it's given you a deeper appreciation for this fascinating and complex region. If you found this video enlightening, please hit that like button, and do you want forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next deep dive into history. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share them in the comments below. What part of Crimea's history surprised you the most? Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.